quit everything. Workout plans, goals, passion projects, until one day I figured out why. Like, why was this happening? Why was I constantly just making plans but never any execution? And then once I finally realized what was the problem, everything clicked. The problem is that you start with good intentions and then you're excited, you're motivated, maybe even obsessed a little with your goals, but then life gets hard and you miss one day, then you miss two, and then suddenly you've went months and weeks without ever jumping right back into your projects, and then it just ends up being exactly what it's always been. It comes down to one simple thing: being committed when you don't feel like it. And that is what I'm going to teach in this video: how to be committed even when you no longer feel it, even when you no longer want to do it, and you want to revert back to exactly who you were before. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to just keep going, how to be more consistent, how to be more committed, and how to finally achieve your goals this year. So if you guys are new here, my name is Geraldine, and I make videos all about goal setting, productivity, and procrastination. So if that's the type of content you love to consume, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I am at Geraldine Silva. So if you're tired of starting and stopping on your goals, then look no further, because I am launching a private accountability membership group called the Committed Collective for people who struggle with procrastination, people who struggle with the external accountability portion, where they feel alone, where they don't have anyone to tell about what exciting things are coming up for them, and maybe the struggles that you're also facing at the same time. It seems like everybody has friends but you, right? Because that's exactly how I feel. Everybody has somebody, and yet I don't have anybody. And I wanted this accountability group membership not only for the people who want to have the accountability portion, but they also want to build a long-lasting friendship and feel like someone is on their team. So I'm super excited to launch this. It's happening in this summer. I'm launching it this summer. So if you want in, and what you will be getting is you'll be getting a one-on-one accountability partner. You'll be getting course trainings and weekly check-ins. So on a weekly basis, we will get together and talk about our goals. You'll get a chance to talk about your goals and what you're working on a weekly basis. So this is not about me. This is not about anybody else but you, okay? You are the star of this show. You are the main character of this show, and you are running this boat, okay? We are talking about you and what we can do to help you achieve your goals. So if you want in on that fabulous adventure of achieving your goals this year, then please consider joining the waiting list. The link will be in the description below. However, there will be only limited seating for this membership group, because I want it to be super intimate for the founding members. So there will only be 6 slots available for the people who do join in. So let's go ahead and get on to the main content of this video. Okay, number 1. You're relying on feelings, not identity. Okay, you want to wake up one morning and be like, I feel super motivated. I feel like I can take on the entire world. You're just, in that phase of your life where you just want to get shit done. And that happens to a lot of us, where we wake up and we're like, yeah, this is great. I can fold my clothes, go to the gym, edit all 3 videos, and do homework with my kids. Like, I feel like I'm on top of the world and I can do it all. And then obviously there are days where you wake up and you're like, ugh, it's sluggish. You're pushing yourself through work, pushing through life, and you feel like you just can't get a grip of yourself. When you are working on your goals, you are constantly running on feelings, whether you feel like showing up for it or not, which obviously, right? Obviously, if you take it by that, obviously there's going to be inconsistencies, because you're not feeling the same thing every day. But if you run on identity, as in, I am a healthy person, I am a YouTuber, I am a TikToker, I am an author, I am a person who has debt paid off. When you live off of identity, then the obvious choice is to live by that. Is to be, okay, if I am a healthy person, therefore I need to eat healthy things. Because if not, I am contradicting myself. If I'm telling myself I'm a healthy person, but I'm having McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like that does not make sense. So you need to live off of the identity of who you want to become rather than feeling like you want to become this person. Of like, oh yeah, one day I would love to become a healthier person and lose 20 pounds or lose 50 pounds or pay off $10,000 of debt or to finally launch that online boutique that I've been wanting to launch, right? You cannot live off of your feelings. You have to live by identity, okay? I identify as a YouTuber. Okay, we're not talking about pronouns here, but I identify as a YouTuber, so therefore I'm going to be doing YouTuber things, which is editing, scripting, filming, uploading, the whole 9 yards, right? That is who I identify, and that is, if I want to become a YouTube content creator full time, I need to live by that on a daily basis, because when I do become that and I'm not acting like that, then how do I expect myself to live off of my off of my content? I can't, because I'm not living the content lifestyle. So identify as that person and become that person. Do what that person does on a daily basis. Number 2, you go too hard too fast and then you burn out. We want to be just, once we have an idea, we want to be up and going, up and running, being like, yep, full force, we're gonna go towards this goal. I'm gonna do 12-hour shifts, and afterwards I'm gonna go do Uber Eats for another 5 hours and pay off this stupid debt. Like, you want to go full force all in, and then you realize that you can't keep up this lifestyle very long. Okay, you were overly ambitious, you overestimated how much you can actually do on a daily basis, and then you burn out. So what do? We take a few steps back. We want to become the most ambitious self, okay? I always talk about the most ambitious self and our laziest self. And this is a strategy that I learned a long time ago about myself, okay? So, busting out my handy dandy little whiteboard. So we have our goal, right? We have our ultimate goal. So when you first create your goal of, I want to lose 10 pounds. This is an example. When you create your first goal of, I want to lose 10 pounds, we have the mindset of being of our most ambitious self, right? This is the steps that you have to climb. Pretend these are stairs. Okay, we want to be our most ambitious self and think that we are able to climb all of these steps to get to our goal. And we say that we're going to so each step that you have to climb helps you get to achieving your goal. So let's say the steps that you have to climb in order to reach your goal is that you have to go to the gym 5 times out of the week, and you're going to eat on a caloric deficit, and then you're only going to do legs on Mondays and Wednesdays, and you're also going to go for a 50-minute walk, and then you're also going to read books about about health, and you're going to meal prep, and you start coming up with all of these things that you need to do in order to achieve this. And that is great and dandy. Again, when you do identify, like I said, when you do identify as a healthy person, that is great. But you also need to meet yourself where you're at realistically. This does not mean that you're not able to get to where you want to be in the future, but it does mean you need to get a start somewhere and build yourself up to this, right? So what realistically you need to do is you need to just climb 3 steps on a daily basis, okay? These are daily habits. So you want to overestimate how many daily habits you can have in a day to achieve this goal. When in reality, the daily habits that you need to take on a daily basis are just 3. You need to just have a caloric deficit, eat healthier foods, and exercise for 1 hour. That's it. But we want to become this person. We want to have so many steps to take on a daily basis because we want to feel like, oh yeah, we can handle it all. We can do this. But you're just not there yet. Okay? There's people out there who can live this lifestyle. That is why the 75 hard is like so popular right now, because we want to be overestimating ourselves. When in reality, it's not about getting there as fast as possible. It's just about getting there. Okay? So when you begin your journey and you start creating your daily habits, stop making it seem like you need to do 10 things in a day to get to where you want to be, when only 3 things a day can do just fine. If you want to, once you're good at climbing 3 steps daily, then you can add an extra step. Then you can add 4 or 5. Then you can add 6 or 7, you know? But we can't start here and think we can do this on a daily basis. Again, for some people, this is possible. But for me, as a procrastinator, going from someone who procrastinates on a daily basis to somebody who is now consistent and disciplined, 3 steps, I needed to tell myself 3 steps a day is enough. So, like I said, our most ambitious self wants to have 10 things because it just sounds so much more flashier, right? When you think about people online being like, oh yeah, I meditate and I journal and I read and I do this and I do that. It sounds great. It's like, wow, I feel like I'm being left behind because I'm not doing all of those things. But in reality, it's like, even if I were to do all those things, it doesn't mean I'm going to be staying committed to all those things. What I need to learn is how to stay committed for as long as I possibly can. Number 3, you don't have external support or built-in consequences. So when no one's watching, it's so much more easier to quit on yourself, and it's so much more easier to just be like, oh, the towel's in, I'm done. Like, no one else is keeping me accountable. It just is what it is, right? But for high performance, built-in accountability is essential when you're trying to be self-disciplined. So there's a couple ways to be disciplined, to have accountability. You can have financial commitment, social commitment, or personal commitment, right? There's 3 types of accountabilities that you can have. You can have financial accountability, social accountability, or personal accountability. Personal, it's you're checking in on yourself and you're able to stay committed. Now, if that was possible, your goals would have been accomplished right now and you probably wouldn't be watching this video. So personal accountability doesn't help, right? For us procrastinators, mostly. What does help is either a social accountability partner or a financial accountability partner. Social meaning that you're on social media, you're announcing it to somebody, whether it's a family member, whether it's to a friend, or again, to your Instagram followers or your Facebook posts or whatever, right? You're posting it somewhere and someone's there keeping you accountable. Or there's an audience watching and you, in your head, you're like, someone's watching, I need to stay accountable. Financial is paying someone to keep you accountable. Whether it's like my accountability membership group, right? You're paying me to keep you accountable. Or you're paying a course like what I'm doing with me launching my accountability group. I am paying someone else to help me stay accountable to launch this accountability group. Okay? So I'm putting in money as well to be able to launch this for you guys because I'm trying to stay accountable too. Because sometimes personal accountability just does not work. So they're also a coach, so they're coaching me on how to like launch this and all that. So it's not just like, oh yeah, you're just here because of financial commitment, right? Or you can have a friend, if you have a friend to help you. So we have social accountability and we have financial accountability. Pick one or the other. Whatever you think best works for you, great. One of them is free and one of them isn't. Either way, you need some sort of built-in accountability. You need to have some sort of consequence of something. If you were to quit and you subconsciously know someone is going to be there to shame you, then you're going to want to work on your ass and just get to where you want to be. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to go through the embarrassment of quitting and then someone seeing that I quit and then it's all endgame from there, right? So high performance build in accountability even when they're self-disciplined. So to kind of recap this whole video before we end, is that number one, you're relying on your feelings and not identity. Start to identify as a person you want to become, not feeling like you want to do something on a daily basis, right? You got to identifying that feeling and identifying yourself as that person will help you get through those daily tasks a lot more efficient. Number two, don't go too hard too fast, because then you'll burn out. Okay, think of the daily steps. Okay, there's only a few daily steps that you can take on a daily basis that will actually help you get to where you want to be. You don't need to have the 10,000 step morning routine in order to be efficient and get to where you want to be. It's okay to have 3. It's okay to not be an overachiever. It's okay to not be such a high performer or put yourself on such a high pedestal. Okay, think of your laziest self. What can your laziest self be able to do? And then lastly, have some sort of external support, some sort of built-in consequence, some kind of built-in accountability. Alrighty, so that is all for my video today. So if you guys enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe and click like down below, and don't forget to sign up for the accountability membership group called the Committed Collective. I'm so excited to launch it in the summer. So if you want in, again, on a suitable market price, everything you need to know will be down below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.